Hello everybody, and welcome back to SVR 11 Universe. This is the final SmackDown before the Royal Rumble from San Diego, California. Cryme time. Pardon me? Not gonna say Cryme time though. Okay, whatever. Cryme Time getting their tag team title opportunity after last week JTG failed to beat The Miz, but a couple weeks prior they beat Cryme Time. So although he couldn't earn himself an Intercontinental title opportunity, we could be looking at the next WWE Tag Team Champions right now. What bigger way to kick off SmackDown than with a title match? That's what I say. That's what Mama Jitch always said. She didn't. My mum wouldn't say that. Tag team titles. The champions just don't get introduced in this one, do they? Okay, well at least now I know. So the WWE Tag Team titles are on the line in this one, if that wasn't already obvious from the amount of times I've mentioned it. The Miz and Chris Jericho won these championships back in December. I believe it was Christmas Day they won them. So this is about 1 month of holding them. And of course that means that they are due a title defense. And the only team that's beaten them or proven that they're worthy of challenging for the tag team titles right now are the Cryme Time, because they have a tag team victory over Jeremy's, as they've been dubbed by you guys. So that's exactly what we're looking at right now. The WWE Tag Team titles up for grabs. Tag team match. Intercontinental Champion Miz. Tag Team Champion Chris Jericho. Their issues with Vladimir Kozlov are basically what led them to this, because he ran in during that non-title match and cost them it. Some could argue. Others could argue that maybe Cryme Time just were gonna win anyway. They were putting up a hell of a fight. Nonetheless, this is a very big opportunity for Cryme Time. This is one they may never see again, potentially. I don't know though, they've been a pretty solid tag team. They've shown they have what it takes to become champions by beating the champions. Now they just got to do it when it matters most. That's when it can be the hardest for some though. That's right, as we're coming up to Royal Rumble on Sunday, we have got the Royal Rumble match, 2 world title matches, all set in the books. We've also got the United States Championship match, Sheamus versus Kane. We've also got confirmed an Intercontinental Championship match coming up, as Cody Rhodes will face off against Luke Gallows and Vance Archer for an Intercontinental title opportunity. So we could be seeing either Miz Archer 3, Miz Gallows 2, or a brand new opponent in Cody Rhodes. Any one of those is a possibility.
Jericho is a vulture.
We've also got
Tag team championship at stake. Which team wants it more?
2 women's matches coming up and an ECW championship match. We've got Mickie James versus Melina confirmed on Raw. Michelle McCool will go toe-to-toe with Eve up next, and then in our extra match, the ECW Championship will be on the line between Yoshitatsu, Terry Funk, Roberts, Ricky Steamboat, and Lex Luger. And of course, the world title matches, I don't think I actually mentioned, those are going to be contested between
and that series ends in deadlock. Neither one of these superstars can afford to give their opponent the upper hand.
Big Show. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. It will be Big Show versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight title from SmackDown, and it will be Triple H versus his own tag team partner, Shawn Michaels, from Raw for the WWE title. So those are the 2 main event matches that you can look forward to coming your way at the Royal Rumble. I don't know how they're all going to fit in, because I know the game only books 6 matches. I know that obviously we've got I know that obviously we've got We've got the ECW title match, which isn't going to be booked by the game, but it's still planning on doing the Royal Rumble match and 6 title matches, so I'm not really sure what to expect once we reach that point in time. Regardless, this is a big opportunity for Cryme Tyme. Right now, I feel like JTG could probably use the tag out. He's really not making the most of this here. I mean, in a way, he is making the most of it because he won't get out of the ring. But I would advise that he tags out to his partner. Do not need them to follow the same fate of Mark Henry and MVP and their consistent failures to become the tag team champions. Shad comes in to break up the submission hold. Well, no chance of him tagging out at the moment. Miz has just choked out Shad on the top rope. JTG managing to take the match back into Cryme Tyme's corner. That's pretty good. Shad reminding us that he's here. Wow. You went there, didn't you, Lola? Very slow-paced fight between... oh, there you go. Shad getting involved. A little bit of teamwork. Oh. Not looking good for the tag team champions.
Jericho's in trouble. Watch it. That was like a freight train. What a nasty elbow.
Oh, JTG. Yeah, I was about to say, I'd look to tag out. Shad is a big guy. He can take care of himself.
Big time strength there.
That might honestly look to be the end for Jericho and The Miz. No.
This is a grueling championship match. Nobody wants to lose this opportunity.
Jericho locking up with Shad in the center of the ring.
This could be big.
Nice.
Jericho loves to trash talk. Oh, does he ever? Oh, the punch connects.
Oh, nice neck breaker by Shad. I don't know why he's looking for the tag. He literally just got in the ring. Okay, well the tag has been made. Oh. Okay. Shad with a big DDT. And he's pulling Jericho on top of JTG. I don't honestly know why of all matches he chose this one. Well, they're still the tag team champions. I don't understand. Well, a shocking turn of events sees the end of Cryme Tyme apparently. But the show must go on. The WWE Tag Team Championships were officially retained by Miz in that matchup. Shad deciding to stab the back of JTG right when he needed it most. It's very strange decision making. I know I said last week that you know, Shad was overlooked as it turned out in the non-title match against The Miz, but I didn't realize it meant that much to him that he wasn't the one that was chosen. Perhaps he felt that JTG was hogging the spotlight, holding him back. I don't know what to make of it. But what I do know is that is definitely looking to be the end of Cryme Tyme. What the fuck was that flex? What is this? What is this music? Oh my god. Anyway. This is our contenders match for the Women's Championship. The winner will be the first ever challenger for Beth Phoenix, the Women's Champion. And obviously, as with the Raw Divas Contenders match between Natalya and Mickie James, I don't have a favorite, I don't have a pick in this one. But Michelle McCool and Eve are who it chose, and whoever it decides to have win, good for it, I say. Good for it. And I suppose this would be the next logical conclusion, is to have Beth Phoenix come out and sit by at ringside for this championship contenders match. One of these two is going to be the one that faces Beth Phoenix at the Royal Rumble, assuming this match happens at the Rumble. I would get the feeling one of the contenders matches, like the matches it's setting up, won't actually happen at the Royal Rumble. I don't know which, but obviously I know this game only books 6 match pay-per-view cards, and although it's done 6 contenders matches, there is only room for 6 and the Rumble. I mean 5 in the Rumble, so something's getting cut. I just don't know what. Probably like the Intercontinental, if I had to guess. But knowing the game and how random it can be, let's make a few guesses, shall we? Triple H will be defending the title against Jack Swagger. Randy Orton will be defending the World Heavyweight title against Primo. No, I'm kidding. Randy Orton will be defending the World title against, like, Punk, probably, even though Big Show won. Both the women's matches will make it onto the show. They'll probably just go off of whoever the contender actually is. Maybe add an extra person, even though there was a contenders match. It'll probably try to book the tag titles. And I guess there's going to be I'm guessing maybe like the world title is one that's going to scrap. Or Shane versus Sheamus versus Kane, I could see it cutting. Not Shane versus Sheamus. But Kane versus Sheamus, I could see it cutting because that one was set up quite a while ago. And I could see it just kind of scratching that one from the record books because there's been no build and it just kind of got booked like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But they will all be happening. I'll just have to turn off Universe and play some in exhibition, same as usual. Even if I then have to give someone an extra title to pretend they own for a little while. That's alright. I don't know what I did. I wasn't listening. I think he said that making SmackDown part of my Friday nights. That's all cool, man. I just, you know, got nothing else to do on a Friday night. So, just here with SmackDown, you know how it is. Dabbing on the haters.
Oh, look out! Okay, what would you expect Michelle to do here? Oh, geez. You know, these competitors are so evenly matched, I wouldn't even begin to guess at this point. A flawless belly-to-belly suplex.
Flawless.
Oh, did she take a shot there? Oh, Michael, I love these diva matches. Look at the way they're dressed. You might say they're wearing too much of not enough.
Oh, dear.
Eve with a nice counter.
Man, what the fuck is happening with WWE these days? You know, I'm not one to sit and bitch and whine about things anymore. I'm just not that invested. But at the same time, I've been looking like at the results, and they had a brand split for a few years now. I think it was like 2016 or something. I remember watching it. And they've been doing like superstar shakeups, as they call them. They're drafts. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's the draft. I know this is old news and probably everyone's already had this ramble about it, but this is my opportunity too, so I'm going to. You'll probably hear this in a video with Saria too, because it really irritates me. And they literally just did this superstar shakeup. Then obviously that means that the brand split is alive and well. There should be people on Raw, there should be people on SmackDown. Then they go and announce the wild card rule, and now they've just got shit all over the place, and the brand split doesn't even exist near enough. To the point where I've just read that Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, who are members of SmackDown, holding the SmackDown tag team titles, are going to defend the SmackDown tag team titles, keywords being SmackDown, against a Raw tag team in the Usos, because they drafted them over to Raw. I remember seeing that the Usos were drafted over to Raw. Yeah, they've been on SmackDown every single week. So why did they say they were drafted to Raw? What even is the draft at this point? What the fuck is this brand split? It's shit. I don't like it. I've never ever once been a fan of them merging the two rosters together. Because now we've got the Usos and Roman Reigns and Miz and all that on like both shows. And basically all that does is mean that like they've created enough TV time for R-Truth and not R-Truth for Roman Reigns and Miz and whatever, so that there's no TV time for like R-Truth and fucking, I don't know, the Ascension and just like, you know, like the other 90% of their roster. I can't really list names because I don't watch the show, so I don't know. It's just like, why would you want the same people on Monday and Tuesday shows and less of the people that already barely appear on the shows? It doesn't make sense. I really, really don't get it. It's why I didn't like when they first started doing the Raw Super Show thing. Do you know how exciting it was? Like, kids of modern day, like the ones that have literally just started watching in the last like 4 or 5 years. Do you have any idea how fucking exciting it was when you were watching in like 2008 and like Kane got drafted to SmackDown or something? I don't think he did in 2008, I don't remember. But like Kane gets drafted to SmackDown and he's been on Raw for like the last 3 or 4 years. And your like fucking 10-year-old self I don't even think I was 10 in 2008. And your like 14-year-old self is like shitting themselves in excitement because now you might see all these dream matches between like Kane and Undertaker and Kane and Ray and Kane and fucking Benoit and whatever, because they've been on SmackDown for the last like 4 years, so there was no possibility of the two facing off against each other, but now there is. That shit was exciting. That shit was fun. But like nowadays, you'll get like AJ Styles on fucking SmackDown and you'll get like Roman Reigns on Raw, and you'll have them fight each other in what's dubbed as a dream match on an episode of Raw just randomly because they're on the same brands even though they're not, because they can just appear on whatever fucking brand they want and fight each other whenever the fuck they want, and it doesn't have to contribute to any story at all. It is literally just a match that just happens because they're big names, and it's all about just throwing big names against each other with no goddamn reason. It's such a fucking mess. I don't understand. I really, really don't. I've never ever liked merged brands. I think the only way you can do the merged brands where you can have both Raw and SmackDown Superstars appearing on both shows is if you get rid of every championship on SmackDown, just throw them all away, make it so that only the Raw championships are the ones that exist. Put all your main eventers, all your top names, your Roman Reigns, your Seth Rollins, your AJ Styles, all that on Raw, and put your fucking Tyler Breeze and your Fandango and your Lord Tensai. I can't think of any current names, honestly. I don't really know them that well. Everyone that they're not planning on using as main event, just put them on SmackDown and let them have each other's fights. And don't put Roman Reigns and Miz and fucking everyone else as a main event or on Raw, also on SmackDown. Keep them away from SmackDown and basically just turn SmackDown into a B show. Rather than like pretending that they're both A shows and using the exact same people on both, because that just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why do it? I don't get it. I'm so just baffled by why they feel the need to do it. SmackDown was doing fine in the ratings. Raw was doing fine in the ratings. You know, they're not doing as good as they did in the Attitude Era, but then they never will, because there's too many different ways to watch shows nowadays that the ratings don't really show correct results anymore. I just don't get it. I just really, really don't get it. And then they wonder why everyone gets sick of people like fucking Cena and Reigns and stuff. It's not because they're bad wrestlers or anything, but it's because you see them twice a week. The only other way that I could possibly see them having, like the only other way I could see this possibly working out for them is if they quit SmackDown, just shut it down altogether, only have Raw and fire like 150 people so that there's only 50 on Raw, and just leave it at that. So it's not oversaturated, so it's not overbooked, there's no one being overlooked. That's gotta feel shit being contracted to WWE and knowing you're just never gonna get a match. I can't imagine what it feels like to be the Ascension. Like, on one side, yeah, you're contracted to one of the biggest companies in the world and you're making loads of money for doing absolutely nothing, but on the other side, you're doing absolutely nothing. No one knows who you are, no one remembers that you're contracted, and like, you're never gonna do anything. It's so obvious that you're just waiting out your contract. You're never going to get a tag title run or be on TV, and then when you finally are, you're just gonna lose in like 2 minutes because you're gonna be in some kind of battle royal and get thrown out straight away. I don't get it, man. I'm sorry to go on such a ramble. It's just, I don't even fucking watch the show and I see this stuff and I'm annoyed for the people that do watch the show, because it's like, how can they think that that's what people want to see? And like, I like that the wildcard rule, I read that it was introduced as like 3 people are going to appear on different shows every week. But it's like 8 people. It's like the whole main event scene just goes from one show to the other every week. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Man, this match is long. I think I forgot to set it to fast. If I don't play a match, I set it to fast experience, because like, I get bored of just watching them. I'm here to play a game, not watch it. But no, I apologize for the rant. I just don't get it. And I don't think I'm ever gonna get it, and I'm just gonna have to hope that they actually start focusing on the brands. I'm guessing, and I'm hoping, that the only reason they're doing it right now, like where they're all over the place, is because they got Money in the Bank coming up, and that's like a double branded show. Like, there's like a match that involves people from Raw and it also involves people from SmackDown in like the same match, and I'm just kind of hoping that like that's their idea, that's what they're doing, is they're just promoting that match. I don't know why Roman Reigns is then fighting people on Raw when he's on SmackDown. But his Money in the Bank match, I think, is against someone on SmackDown. I don't know, man. I keep like reading, like, because I'm on Instagram and I go through the Explore, and I get a lot of posts about the shows as well there. This is literally the only way I keep up with it, is I follow their Twitter and I see the results after every episode airs. In Twitter form, and I scroll through the Instagram Explore, and every now and then it pops up in there, and I just read it out of curiosity. And I've been seeing a lot of people saying that like Fox has gotten SmackDown, and Fox wants SmackDown to stay above a certain rating and like do really well, or else they'll cancel it. And I'm hoping that maybe like they'll focus more on the brand split then, because Fox might be like, yeah, we don't want this mess. It's got to be good TV, and throwing the same people on both shows is not good TV. Having Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston on Raw when they're both SmackDown people, and then having the exact same match on SmackDown the next night, that didn't happen. I'm just making up an example. Is not good TV, because it's like the same thing on both shows, and if they've already seen it once, I can assure you, speaking as a fan, we don't want to see it again. Anyway, I'll stop my rant there. That was a wonderful match, I'm sure. Alright, well, we got another Contenders match on hand. I realized that after my little grumble session about rematches and shit, I've then gone and had one where we've got 2 people from literally the same match that was the main event of yesterday's ECW episode. In my defense, I didn't book this match, and I didn't know this was coming, and it's a Contenders match, so I don't mess with those. Contenders matches are the one thing I do not screw around with. Whatever it books, that's what it gets, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, the fact that it booked this, I'm not going to screw with that. I think CM Punk wouldn't be very happy if Luke Gallows got a title shot and he didn't at Rumble. So we got Cody Rhodes, Luke Gallows, and Vance Archer all squaring off in a triple threat to determine who will face The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship at the Royal Rumble. Not a single fan favorite involved in any of this situation. But who needs the fans, am I right? My TV's about to turn off. And I don't know where the TV remote is to stop it. Oh dear. That's not good. Good thing I can reach the button from here. What's happening? Oh, okay. We're doing this again, are we? Vance Archer is just really determined to get an Intercontinental title around his waist at some point in his career. You almost gotta, like, admire the dedication that Vance Archer has actually had to trying to cheat his way to the Intercontinental title. He's really worked his ass off in that weird aspect. Luke Gallows and Vance Archer both squared off in a triple threat at TLC against The Miz that was for the Intercontinental Championship, so it's quite interesting to see them both once again now competing for that one-on-one opportunity. Vance Archer has already had a one-on-one against Miz. He lost. That was how Miz became Intercontinental Champion, but he's never actually had a one-on-one rematch. However, his win-loss record, it's got to be a pretty high number on the L column, because I feel like I've seen him lose a lot of matches. And when you take into account Superstars, that's another loss. I mean, ECW, that's another loss. Same for Luke Gallows. He's been on the losing end of a lot of matches. Cody Rhodes really was the only one I could possibly have picked in this match. It was just the favorite. I'm really hoping that Saria will drop in at any minute and join me for this episode, because the only reason I'm actually recording today is because she's been off at a shoot and she's been gone for such a long time. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like being on my own, man. I like recording Universe, and I know that she's not really interested, so like there is that plus, but like I don't like being on my own, man. I've told her before, if she wants to drop in, she can. You know, the channel is called Jitch and Saria. I actually haven't even like solidified a main event for this week's SmackDown. The game recommended CM Punk versus Randy Orton, but I don't really agree with that. So I'm thinking maybe like something that involves like Orton and like Big Show and maybe like Undertaker and maybe Punk, you know, kind of like something that kind of focuses on the main event scene of SmackDown a little bit. I'm just not really sure like what it is that I'm gonna do in that situation, what kind of like match I can make that involves so many people from SmackDown's like main event scene. Maybe we'll do like a 6-man tag to promote the Rumble match as well as the main event. That makes sense. I'll do that. We'll do a 6-man tag. I'm not going to announce who's going to be on what sides, but there'll be a 6-man tag, and you know, one team will be captained by Big Show and the other will be captained by Randy Orton. But the rest of the participants in that 6-man battle royal will be mystery. Maybe I'll wild card it and bring Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Jack Swagger over to Raw. That would be fun. Lots and lots of fun. Just throw away the prestige of Raw's main event by repeating it, but making it bigger on SmackDown.
Again, this is a no disqualification match. Anything goes.
That's correct. Triple threat matches are no DQ.
Just a bit slow, and Gallows
Quite surprised there's been no appearance from Mr. DiBiase. You'd think he'd want to be in the corner.
Oh, there it is. Ah, look at this. It's a sledgehammer. He's got a sledgehammer. The Luthez press, and would you look at those shots? Ouch.
Wow, Cody Rhodes is he's just gone. That's it. Knocked out. I think Cody Rhodes versus The Miz could be a great match.
270 pounds, possesses a hybrid of street and mat fighting skills. This attack to the skull kick.
Archer!
What a devastating move by Archer. Oh, ow!
Okay. I mean, I knew he'd be bitter that Luke Gallows got an opportunity, but I hope we're not seeing another tag team come to an end.
Extreme will this match become? Ooh, Archer.
He's looking at Gallows, but he's not doing anything.
One, two.
And the distraction from Punk allows Archer to win. I'm not really sure what Punk was doing in the ring. Let's just disregard that he was ever in it. That sounds like a good idea. Because that didn't make any sense. Well, Vance Archer has actually, like, well and truly and correctly earned himself an Intercontinental Championship for the first time. Like, a championship opportunity, I mean. You know, he got his first opportunity against Miz handed to him and he lost, and then he cheated and quickly got a victory against Tatsu and he lost, and now he's actually won a triple threat match by pinning an up-and-comer in Cody Rhodes. Maybe this Sunday we'll finally see Archer's crowning. Maybe he'll finally become Intercontinental Champion. I guess we find out on Sunday. Well, we got ourselves a big main event to close out the final SmackDown before the Rumble.
The following six-man tag team match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, standing at 7 feet tall, weighing 441 pounds, The Big Show.
We got some extremely unlikely allies in this six-man tag team match. But I figured the best way to promote both the Royal Rumble match as well as the World Heavyweight title match between Big Show and Randy Orton would be with this six-man tag team match. It features 4 people that are most likely going to be in the Rumble, as well as the 2 World Heavyweight Championship competitors. So you've got Big Show, and he's the captain of the one side, teaming up with the contender who is right below him in the rankings, in John Cena, making his debut in the main event finally.
And his partner from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing 240 pounds, John Cena.
So yeah, Cena's going to be teaming up with Big Show as one half of the first team. Currently only competed in, I think, 2 matches? I can only recall him beating Shelton Benjamin, actually, so maybe only 1. John Cena rightfully where he belongs in the main event scene, and he's got a lot to prove in this one. And of course their partner, extremely unlikely ally for both the Big Show and John Cena, or mostly everyone on any roster, as a matter of fact. As we just wait in suspense. The former World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker, made to team with the guy who didn't exactly stop him from losing his championship in the ladder match. Big Show didn't really stop Orton from retrieving the World Heavyweight title from atop the ladder.
And their partner from Death
But this is actually Undertaker's first match on SmackDown in just shy of a month. This is the first time he's competed since losing the World Heavyweight title in a TLC match. Obviously, he did suffer an injury, pretty moderate one. I wouldn't say he's wrestling 100% right now. He was, for those that don't remember, he was thrown over the shoulder of Randy Orton, fell back first off the top of a ladder onto a set of steel steps. The way he bended when he landed was honestly really unsettling to watch, and it's just a game. So, I wouldn't exactly say Undertaker would be at 100% in this 6-man tag. But he's here, he's ready for it. I've just had a car pull up, I'm gonna look. That's definitely not SARIA. That is a very large van with a man in high vis inside. Just really wanted her to join me. At least for the main event. It's SmackDown, it's Undertaker, it's Prawn. Big Show, she loves Big Show. CM Punk, who I think she finds okay. John Cena, who I think she finds okay. And Edge, who I mean, she likes the music. Doesn't really like him. Well, I think she said he looks really cool. Which is good enough. This would be super endorsed. Well, I'd like to say that Edge stands a good chance of winning the Royal Rumble, as do John Cena and The Undertaker. And of course, as I've already now mentioned, the other tag team partner on their side, CM Punk. As I say, there's some unlikely allies on both teams. You know, you wouldn't really picture Undertaker teaming up with anyone, and obviously him and Cena are incredibly different people. But at the same time, Randy Orton having to team up with CM Punk has probably got to be the most uncomfortable and downright awkward partnerships there's going to be in this. That's someone that I think he's going to want to keep his eyes on, because CM Punk has made it very clear that he really wants the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, let's not forget what comes up after the Royal Rumble. For those that did not win the Royal Rumble match, there is the Elimination Chamber still to come.
From Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 220 pounds, CM Punk.
I don't really like the yellow outfit for Punk, but he already did a run-in earlier and he was wearing it, so I kind of just went, well, he's appeared on the show now. I know Randy Savage once changed like 3 times during WrestleMania, but CM Punk's not Randy Savage, as much as he may want to be. It could be speculated that his involvement in the last match, the Contenders match, could signify Punk's backup plan in case he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, in case he can't win maybe the world title match at the Chamber.
From St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 245 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton.
But that could have been him getting his foot in a future division we might see Punk set foot in. The Intercontinental title hunt. He might go for the Miz's Championship, should he not be able to get anywhere near the world title come WrestleMania. But there are still 2 opportunities for everyone on both SmackDown and Raw. There is the Royal Rumble match, of course, which, you know, you win that, you are guaranteed the main event of WrestleMania for either the SmackDown or the Raw World title, whichever one you want. And then, of course, there's also the... Sorry, I'm having a brain fart again. There's also the Elimination Chamber matches, which, of course, in and of themselves, could lead to new champions heading into WrestleMania. as well as, of course, giving 5 people that may have thought that because they lost the Rumble and because they're not the champion, they're not going to go to WrestleMania. They might give them the chance to do so. Big Show always starts things off really dominantly. I take it CM Punk must have missed some kind of dress code because may not have gotten the memo because Undertaker, no, sorry, Edge, Orton, both matching quite well actually. This is finally John Cena's time to shine. One week he's debuting, the next he's in the main event of SmackDown. But you know what? He is one of the top-ranked superstars on SmackDown. He should be in contention for the world title if he doesn't win the Rumble. He should be one of the guys looking to compete in the Elimination Chamber. I'd be very surprised if he didn't qualify for the Chamber.
This guy is just awesome. Edge. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, this is
So I think this is going to be quite a lengthy one, admittedly. And of course, in comes Undertaker. As I said before, I'm not 100% sure Undertaker will be at 100% in this match. Falling off the top of a ladder onto some steel steps back first isn't exactly how a lot of people envision ever taking a fall in their life.
Undertaker with the arm. That'll do some damage. Oh.
Wrestler or not.
Did you see his neck snap back from that big boot? There's the tag.
And there's CM Punk.
The dead man controlling the waist. Punk's in trouble. Oh.
Not really any history between a lot of the people in this ring just yet. Main event scene mostly on SmackDown being about Randy Orton, CM Punk, and The Big Show, as well as a little bit of Undertaker. I don't know quite why he was never really a focal point in it when he was the champion.
There he goes, out of the ring.
Maybe we'll just blame the SmackDown GM. We'll just say that Teddy Long had something to do with it once again. I wouldn't hit Undertaker by mistake if I were you, Big Show. He could still get involved in that world title match.
And now his partner comes in, and they get whipped right into those steel steps.
Cena gonna go straight for the World Heavyweight Champion. Or just everyone, assuming it would let me target Edge, which it wouldn't, so let's pretend that didn't just happen. Now here's a match I think some people might enjoy. CM Punk and John Cena. It seems like that could be pretty popular one day.
He's in big trouble. He's in bad shape. He's got to make the tag.
Of course, one of my favorite things coming up in this universe comes right after WrestleMania. The draft. I always love the draft. I know that we've only just barely gotten used to this roster as it currently stands. We've had from November, but the draft does come after WrestleMania, and there will be some changes on both Raw and SmackDown. And this could be the end already. CM Punk's too good for that. Except he's not, because he literally just got caught with it right afterwards. And that could honestly be the end already. Oh, nice save by Orton. Obviously now is an important part for Punk because he's got to try and tag out. In an episode that has seen Michelle McCool be named the contender for Beth Phoenix's women's title, Vance Archer be named the contender for the Miz's Intercontinental title, and Time separating, probably the biggest thing that happened on this episode, as well as a successful title defense for Jeremy's. It's been pretty big, honestly. Now we're looking at something even bigger. Randy Orton and The Big Show going toe-to-toe. The last time these two faced off was on a main event of SmackDown. Randy Orton wanted to prove himself after having just won the World Heavyweight title in a triple threat that involved Big Show. He ended up beating Big Show, but it was very competitive. Big Show nailed him with, I think, about 4 choke slams. And this is honestly something I think both Randy Orton and The Big Show have been waiting to do, is get their hands on each other once again. Big Show could be the World Heavyweight Champion post Royal Rumble. And obviously that's a very favorable guy going into the Elimination Chamber.
The Viper controlling the head. Watch it. That was like a freight train. He's taking out the trash. And down goes Cena. Don't take too long to gloat here, Big Show. He's seen it up. Here he comes. And he tags out.
A big matchup potential here. John Cena and Randy Orton.
It's as if Orton is possessed.
Orton's obviously decided to focus on the former champion Undertaker. Can't help but wonder if we'll ever see a one-on-one match between those two, considering their world title match ended up not being one.
Elbow drop.
I'm very interested in seeing what it actually books for Royal Rumble, because I feel like it will be very different to what we've been expecting.
What an incredible main event this has been.
It will add like random gimmicks and stuff to the matches.
Finally gets out of the ring. And there he
No
goes.
current Royal Rumble plans for the Cruiserweight title, I might add. I've just realised there's been a lot of business involving the other titles, but obviously, I suppose with Kofi Kingston
Look at this.
beating Zack Ryder on the first episode of ECW, that's kind of it for the build-up for that title. There's been no involvement of it at all this week, so you can expect to see that back on ECW and Raw after the Rumble. Obviously, there's just like a lot of build-up to the Rumble to expect.
Huge impact.
And I realise that will then very quickly be followed up by build-up to the Chamber.
Orton has the headlock.
But we're not supposed to acknowledge that.
Wow, what a sequence. Wow, that might have broken his jaw.
Tell you what, Orton is a very stubborn tag partner for never having to tag out.
What impact. High impact, no mistakes. That's Undertaker style. Just writhing in agony.
Okay. Into the corner goes Undertaker. That's a really, really brave move on Orton's part, to be honest. And these wide chops to hit all three people in one. Again, very brave. But it could have been foolish. Massive choke slam.
Tremendous choke slam. And Undertaker should have it. Undertaker, can he hit it?
I would like to think so.
Tombstone.
Oh, nice and away from the ropes too.
And the ref starts
Ref.
one. And there's the count. Two.
And Undertaker pins the World Heavyweight Champion. That could be a preview of what to expect in a post-Royal Rumble world. Maybe we'll see a rematch between the two down the line. Maybe Undertaker will get that world title back. Needless to say, a very unusual team got the win in this one. But they were both unusual. One just happened to cooperate a lot better than the other. And it definitely had nothing to do with me playing it. No, sir. But that's going to be it for this episode of SmackDown. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you guys at the... Wait, no. What am I saying? Gotta look at the rankings and stuff, and then get a little preview of the Royal Rumble. Ah, yes, this music makes me think of Shad betraying JTG, and I just can't figure out why. Now, admittedly, that was a cutscene I did in Story Designer. I'm sure you all already knew that because the crowd reactions were off and everything. There's no commentary and all kinds of stuff. The actual result was DiBiase Bulldog beating Kozlov and Finlay because it just put it back to that match. So, but you know what really went down. So their relationship got worse. Fair enough. Whatever. We'll just say they dislike each other. Vance Archer and Cody Rhodes are now enemies. That's a new one. CM Punk and Orton's relationship has gotten even worse. I didn't honestly know it could. They seem to really hate each other. The tag rankings are the same. Vance Archer has bumped up to the #1 contender over Cody Rhodes. Ted DiBiase has dropped from 3 to 4 because obviously Archer is 4. Was 4th. And Tatsu remains at #2. Big Show shoots up from off of the ranks to #8 with his tag team win, whilst Punk and Ziggler take a drop for their double losses this week, I guess. Both of them lost matches. And really, the world title seems for no change. I suppose, to be fair, Orton's Show and Cena won, and they don't seem to like moving the contender very often. No. Big Show, Cena, and Undertaker won. Yeah, and they don't like moving the number one contender anyway, so the fact still stands that that wouldn't have really changed anything. It should have seen Edge maybe drop if I had anything to say, but I don't know. Anyway, Royal Rumble. So, it got rid of the women's title match. I can already see it. The Beth Phoenix versus Michelle McCool match has been dropped. So Kane versus Sheamus will be happening. The Miz versus Vance Archer will be happening. I'm actually going to allow this because obviously the way that Natalya lost the Contenders match wasn't fair. So we can say that as part of like a fair opportunity treatment, Natalya has been given the opportunity despite Mickie James winning. That to me makes sense. That's a big no from me. We've had Randy Orton versus Big Show built up for quite a while, so it's gotta be Orton versus Big Show. That's exactly what we were expecting, so that's what we're getting, like it or not, game. That's what's happening. It's just gonna be Orton and it's just gonna be Show. That's also not happening. We already had Shawn Michaels win a ladder match. Admittedly, that wasn't a contenders match in the game, so I can't blame it for not getting it right. Also, I think Swagger is the number one contender for the WWE title right now. And if not, then it just really doesn't want to book someone against their own tag partner. I'm going to quickly find that one out. Oh, he is actually the number one contender. Okay. And the Royal Rumble match, obviously, you don't get any kind of preview for, so I can't honestly tell you what's coming in that match, who's going to be in it, who's confirmed and whatnot. I don't know. But, yeah, the women's title match will still happen. I'll just have to do it through exhibition and not have it before the women's title, because I can't make the game make a championship match. And obviously the ECW title 4-way match is also to come. So there you go. That's the full Royal Rumble show. What to expect. Coming your way sometime soon. I don't know when, but it's coming eventually. And we're getting ever so close to WrestleMania 1. It says 26, but it means 1. We'll just call it WrestleMania, not WrestleMania 1, because that sounds silly. So, thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the future with more Universe. Bye.